What if I told you that almost every decision you've made today, from the food you ate to the messages you replied to the way you feel about yourself right now, was influenced, maybe even manipulated without you realizing it? The truth is, manipulation isn't always a dark art used by villains in movies. In reality, it's a skill, a tool, and like any tool, it can be used to build or to destroy. And Omar Johnson's book, The Art of Manipulation, How to Get Anybody to Do What You Want, pulls back the curtain on the psychological levers that control human behavior. This isn't about magic. It's about understanding the way people think, react, and decide, and learning how to guide that process toward your goals. Welcome to Legacy Book Insight. In this video, we're going to break down the most important lessons from Johnson's book and expand on them with examples, stories, and practical tips. By the end, you'll know how to persuade without pushing, influence without obvious control, and get people to say yes without feeling pressured. 1. Persuade without pushing. 2. Influence without obvious control. 3. Get yes without pressure. And don't worry, we're also going to talk about the ethics. Because manipulation without ethics isn't influence, it's exploitation. Here's the thing. Most people hear the word manipulation and immediately picture something negative: scams, lies, trickery. But manipulation at its core is just the ability to shape outcomes through communication, psychology, and strategy. Politicians do it. Advertisers do it. Negotiators do it. Leaders do it. Even children do it when they want that extra cookie. In other words, if you don't understand how manipulation works, you're not avoiding it, you're just on the receiving end of it. Omar Johnson's core idea is simple. People are driven by predictable psychological triggers: emotions, desires, fears, and needs. If you can identify those triggers and present your message in a way that connects to them, you can guide people's choices almost effortlessly. This is not about being pushy. In fact, one of the first lessons in the book is that the best manipulation is invisible. When it works, the other person thinks they made the choice themselves, and they feel good about it. Asterisk, over the next few sections, we'll explore how to read people like an open book, plant ideas that feel like they came from their mind, use timing to your advantage, and turn resistance into agreement. Asterisk. But first, let's get one thing clear. These skills are not a license to manipulate recklessly. They're a way to become more effective in business, relationships, negotiations, any situation where you want influence without force. Omar Johnson begins with a simple but powerful example. Imagine you're walking into a store and the salesperson doesn't greet you, doesn't make eye contact, doesn't ask questions. You'll probably walk out without buying a thing. But now, imagine the opposite. You walk in and they greet you warmly by name. Maybe they even remember what you bought last time. They casually mention a new item that's exactly in line with your style. You feel understood, valued, almost obligated to at least consider what they're showing you. That's manipulation in action. Not through deception, but through carefully crafted perception. They've tapped into your need for recognition and your desire to feel special. And without realizing it, you're already more open to buying. In the next section, we're going to pull apart the psychology behind that moment, the building blocks of influence, so you can use them deliberately. Because once you know how the game is played, you stop being a pawn and start becoming the player. Section 2. The Psychology of Influence. If you want to become a master manipulator, or as I prefer to say, a master of influence, you need to understand the wiring of the human mind. And here's the good news, it's not random. Human behavior follows patterns, and those patterns are powered by psychological triggers. Trigger number 1, emotion over logic. The first big truth? People don't make decisions based on logic. They make them based on emotion, and then justify those decisions with logic later. You think you're choosing the sensible option? Most of the time, you've already felt your way to the choice, and your brain just builds the story afterward. This is why emotional appeals work so well. Fear, desire, pride, guilt, curiosity, they bypass rational filters and hit the decision-making center instantly. Omar Johnson stresses this. If you want someone to act, make them feel something first. Trigger number 2, the need for social approval. Humans are social creatures, wired to fit in, to belong. And that means we crave approval. We want to be liked, respected, accepted. When you subtly signal that a choice will win them approval from others, or help them avoid embarrassment, you've tapped into a deep motivator. Think about how many ads use this. Join millions who, or be the first among your friends to. They're not just selling a product, they're selling the status and social identity that comes with it. Trigger number 3, reciprocity. Reciprocity is one of the most powerful and oldest psychological levers. When someone gives us something, whether it's a gift, a compliment, or even just attention, we feel an almost irresistible urge to give something back. It's a survival mechanism from our tribal days. Share and others share with you. Omar Johnson points out that you can use this ethically by offering value first. Share helpful advice. Give a small freebie. Lend a hand. When it's time to ask for something, the other person already feels a pull to repay you. Trigger number 4, commitment and consistency. Once someone makes a small commitment, they're far more likely to make a bigger one, because humans like to be consistent with their past actions. This is why signing a small petition can lead to agreeing to volunteer later, or why agreeing to a tiny purchase can make someone more open to a major upsell. The key here is to start small. Get a yes to something low risk, and you've already opened the door for the bigger request. Trigger number 5, scarcity. When something is rare or time limited, its perceived value skyrockets. It's not just about the product, it's about the fear of missing out. This is why limited edition, or only 3 left in stock, creates immediate action. Scarcity works because it taps into our survival instincts. In the wild, rare resources meant survival. In modern life, they mean status, opportunity, or pleasure, and people hate missing out. Notice the pattern here? Every trigger is rooted in basic human needs: safety, belonging, pride, curiosity, desire. Manipulation works when you connect your request to one of these needs. Fail to connect, and your words slide right off the mind like water on glass. But here's where Johnson adds an important warning. If you try to use these triggers too obviously, you'll trigger resistance instead. People hate feeling manipulated, so the moment they detect it, they put their guard up. The art here is subtlety. Layer your influence so naturally into the interaction that the other person doesn't even notice, they just feel drawn toward your suggestion. Now that you know the psychological levers, the hidden switches in the human mind, it's time to talk about how to read people so you can identify which trigger will work best on them. Because great manipulators don't just speak persuasively, they listen, observe, and adapt in real time. Section 3, reading people like a book. The average person walks through life blind to the signs people are giving them. They miss the raised eyebrow, the shift in tone, the way someone's feet angle toward the door, tiny clues that scream what the person is thinking or feeling. But once you learn to read those signs, it's like switching from black and white TV to 4K ultra high definition. Step 1. Observe before you engage. Most people rush into talking. Great manipulators wait. They watch first. Why? Because your first few seconds of observation give you more data than most people notice in an entire conversation. Look for posture. Are they upright and open or hunched and closed? Look at where their feet point. Toward you means interest, away means they want to leave. Check facial tension. Tight lips or a clenched jaw mean stress or defensiveness. Step 2. Listen to the tone, not just the words. Omar Johnson points out that the tone of someone's voice often tells you more than their words. A flat tone means they're not engaged. Rising pitch at the end of sentences can signal uncertainty. A sudden drop in volume can mean they're hiding something. It's like listening to the music of their voice instead of just the lyrics. Step 3. Microexpressions reveal the truth. Microexpressions are split-second flashes of true emotion. Anger, fear, joy, disgust, before the person can mask them. They last less than half a second, but if you spot them, you'll know what they really feel, no matter what they're saying. The key is practice. Watch videos of people in emotional moments, pause, rewind, and train your eyes. Once you start seeing them, you'll never unsee them. Step 4. Watch for baseline shifts. Every person has a baseline, the way they normally act when they're relaxed. If their baseline changes suddenly, faster speech, avoiding eye contact, touching their face more, something has shifted internally. Don't jump to conclusions. A change doesn't always mean they're lying. It just means something triggered a reaction, and that's your cue to dig deeper. Step 5. Match and mirror to build rapport. Once you've read them, the next step is to make them feel understood. The fastest way? Matching and mirroring. Subtly adjust your posture, tone, and pace to reflect theirs. If they're leaning forward and speaking softly, do the same, just slightly. Done right, this creates an unconscious sense of similarity, and similarity breeds trust. When you can read people accurately, you gain a huge advantage. You know which psychological trigger to pull. If someone's insecure, you can appeal to their need for approval. If they're bored, you can spark curiosity. If they're anxious, you can offer safety. Most people try to influence blindly, like throwing darts in the dark. But when you read the room first, every word becomes a targeted shot. Johnson shares a simple but telling example. He once pitched an idea to a client who looked engaged, nodding, smiling, saying yes, yes. But Johnson noticed the man's feet were pointing toward the door and his eyes kept darting to his watch. Most people would have plowed ahead. Instead, Johnson stopped and said, "You've got somewhere important to be, don't you?" The client laughed, admitted he was late for another meeting and rescheduled. That pitch ended up landing a deal, because Johnson read the signs and adapted instead of pushing at the wrong moment. Now that you can read people like an open book, the next step is planting ideas so naturally that they feel like the other person thought of them themselves. Because the most powerful manipulation is the one they own. Section 4. Planting ideas in their mind. Here's the secret about human pride. People love their own ideas. We guard them, defend them, nurture them. And that's why the most effective manipulators rarely say, "Here's what you should do." Instead, they arrange the conversation so the other person says, "You know what I think we should do?" Omar Johnson emphasizes that ownership is everything. If someone believes an idea is theirs, they'll defend it against all criticism. If they believe it's yours, they might resist it, even if it's objectively better. So your job is to guide, not to declare. Lead them toward the conclusion without stamping your name on it. Technique number 1. The seeding method. Think of your influence like gardening. You don't slam the full-grown tree down in front of someone. You drop a seed, a hint, a question, a casual remark, and let it grow in their mind. Instead of saying, "You should start working out," you say, I read this study showing that people who exercise in the morning feel more energized all day. Kinda makes me curious what would happen if I tried that." You're not telling them what to do. You're planting a seed of curiosity and letting their brain water it. Technique number 2. The illusion of choice. Humans crave autonomy. We hate feeling forced. The illusion of choice gives people the sense they're in control, while you've already narrowed the options to what you want. A salesperson might say, "Would you like the premium plan or the deluxe plan?" Notice what's missing? The option to walk away. Both choices serve the same goal, your goal, but the person feels empowered. Technique number 3. The strategic question. Questions are Trojan horses for ideas. When you ask the right question, the answer they come up with is the one you wanted all along. Instead of telling a coworker, "We need to stay late to finish this," you ask, "What do you think would happen if we waited until tomorrow to send it?" They'll likely picture the worst-case scenario themselves and decide to stay late. Your idea became their decision. Technique number 4. Storytelling as a delivery system. Stories bypass defenses. They slip past skepticism because the listener isn't being told what to do, they're just enjoying a narrative. But inside that narrative, you've hidden the exact idea you want them to adopt. You might say, "A friend of mine kept putting off networking until one day she ran into someone who offered her a huge opportunity. It made me realize, the earlier you start building connections, the better." You're not telling them to network. You're letting the story do it for you. Technique number 5. Letting them fill the gaps. The human brain hates unfinished patterns. If you leave something unsaid, people will rush to complete it themselves, and when they do, they feel like it's their thought. If you're selling a course, you might say, Most people who master this skill see huge jumps in their income. I've seen students go from struggling to, well. They'll mentally finish that sentence, and their own conclusion will be more powerful than anything you could have spelled out. Johnson warns, planting ideas only works when it feels effortless. If they sense you're maneuvering them, the spell is broken. That's why you need patience. Give the seed time to grow. Don't demand the result immediately. Let them come to you when they believe it's their idea. Johnson tells a story about a corporate consultant who wanted a stubborn CEO to adopt a new marketing strategy. Instead of pitching it directly, he shared a casual story at lunch about another company in the same industry doubling their market share with a certain tactic. 2 weeks later, the CEO presented the exact same idea at a board meeting, believing it was a fresh insight he'd had while thinking about market trends. The consultant just smiled. Mission accomplished. Planting ideas is powerful, but there's another layer that can supercharge your influence: timing. Because even the best idea fails if delivered at the wrong moment. In the next section, we'll explore how to master when to make your move, the perfect moment when resistance is low and influence is at its peak. Section 5. The power of perfect timing. In manipulation, what you say matters. But when you say it, can be the difference between instant agreement and total rejection. Omar Johnson calls it the open window, the moment when a person's mind is most receptive. Hit before it opens and they're not ready. Hit after it closes and you've missed your chance. Look for signs: relaxed posture, open body language, curiosity in their voice, or when they've just shared a personal win or problem. These are prime windows. Johnson identifies 3 high-impact timing points. 1. After they say yes to something. Consistency is in play, they're more likely to agree again. 2. Right after they receive something from you. Reciprocity kicks in, they feel like giving back. 3. When emotions are running high. Positive or negative, strong emotion makes people more open to influence. Equally important is knowing when not to push, when they're distracted, rushed, defensive, or tired. Trying to influence in these moments is like planting seeds in concrete. Nothing will grow. Johnson tells of a sales rep who tried to close a deal during a tense budget meeting. The client wasn't in the mood and shut it down. A week later, during a company celebration, the rep brought it up again. This time, the client signed immediately. The pitch didn't change, the timing did. Influence is about alignment. Your message must meet their moment. When you speak at the right time, resistance fades, and the yes comes naturally. Next, we'll see how to turn resistance, those hard no's, into agreement using a method so simple it feels like conversational judo. Section 6. Turning resistance into agreement. Resistance isn't the end of influence. In fact, Omar Johnson says a no can be the start of the real conversation, if you know how to handle it. Step 1. Agree first. The fastest way to lower resistance is to agree with part of what they're saying. It disarms them, because you're showing you're on the same side, not in a fight. Step 2. Reframe the objection. Turn their no into a maybe by reframing the context. If they say, "It's too expensive," you might say, "I get it, but compared to what you'd spend fixing the problem later, it's actually a bargain." Step 3. Ask a small question. A small, harmless question keeps the door open. What would have to change for you to consider it? Shifts them from rejection to problem solving. Step 4. Use their energy. This is conversational judo. Use their momentum instead of pushing back. If they're worried about risk, make your solution sound like the safest bet. If they're overwhelmed, show how it simplifies their life. Johnson tells of a client who said, "Not now, maybe next year." Instead of arguing, he agreed and asked what would make next year the right time. The client explained, and Johnson showed how those same conditions were already true. The deal closed that day. Resistance isn't a wall, it's a signal. A signal to listen, align, and guide the conversation to a place where agreement feels like their idea. And when you've got someone on your side, the next challenge is keeping them there and making them an ally for life. That's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. Section 7. Turning influence into lasting loyalty. Getting someone to say yes once is influence. Getting them to keep saying yes, to trust you, follow you, and advocate for you, that's loyalty. Omar Johnson makes it clear. Loyalty isn't built on manipulation alone, it's built on credibility. If you deliver on your promises, people stop evaluating every request. They trust that what you suggest will benefit them. Step 1. Reward agreement. Whenever someone supports you, reward that behavior. It doesn't have to be big. A thank you, a favor in return, or public recognition makes people feel valued and reinforces the connection. Step 2. Create shared wins. People stay loyal when your success is tied to theirs. Find ways where both of you benefit from the same outcome, then work together to achieve it. Step 3. Stay consistent. Consistency creates reliability. If you're unpredictable, sometimes helpful, sometimes self-serving, people stop trusting your motives. The more someone invests in you, time, energy, resources, the more loyal they become. Invite them into decisions. Ask for their input. Let them shape the journey. Johnson tells of a small business owner who didn't just close deals, he built relationships. Every customer got a personal follow-up call, even months after buying. Within 2 years, 70% of his business came from repeat customers and referrals, all because people felt genuinely cared for. Influence can win the moment, but loyalty wins the future. When people trust you, they'll follow your lead without hesitation, and they'll bring others with them. And to wrap everything together, in our final section we'll break down Omar Johnson's ultimate influence checklist, a step-by-step guide you can use in any situation. Section 8. The Complete Influence Blueprint. We've covered every key element of Omar Johnson's system. Now let's condense it into one clear, repeatable blueprint you can use in any situation. Step 1. Read the room. Before you speak, observe. Watch their body language, mood, and focus. Influence starts with awareness. Step 2. Build rapport. People say yes to those they like and trust. Match their energy, show genuine interest, and create small wins together first. Step 3. Time it right. Wait for the open window, moments of receptiveness after a win, a favor, or an emotional high. Step 4. Frame it their way. Position your request so it benefits them. Tie your idea to their goals, values, or pain points. Step 5. Handle resistance smartly. Agree, reframe, and keep the conversation open with small, low-pressure questions. Step 6. Reward agreement. Show appreciation every time they back you. People repeat what gets recognized. Step 7. Maintain loyalty. Deliver consistently, create shared wins, and make them part of the journey. Johnson once used this exact sequence to win over a resistant investor. He read the mood, built rapport over coffee, waited until the investor was celebrating a personal win, and framed the pitch as a benefit to his legacy. When doubts came, he agreed, reframed, and asked a simple, "What would make it work for you?" Not only did the investor say yes, he became a lifelong backer. Influence isn't magic, it's a series of intentional steps. Master the blueprint, and you'll be able to guide conversations, shape decisions, and create allies for life. Section 8. The Complete Influence Blueprint. We've covered every key element of Omar Johnson's system. Now, let's condense it into one clear, repeatable blueprint you can use in any situation. Step 1. Read the room. Before you speak, observe. Watch their body language, mood, and focus. Influence always begins with awareness. Step 2. Build rapport. People say yes to those they like and trust. Match their energy, show genuine interest, and create small wins together first. Step 3. Time it right. Wait for the open window, those moments of receptiveness after a win, a favor, or an emotional high. Step 4. Frame it their way. Position your request so it benefits them. Tie your idea directly to their goals, values, or pain points. Step 5. Handle resistance smartly. Agree, reframe, and keep the conversation alive with small, low-pressure questions. Step 6. Reward agreement. Show appreciation every time they back you. People repeat what gets recognized. Step 7. Maintain loyalty. Deliver consistently, create shared wins, and make them part of the journey. Johnson once used this exact sequence to win over a hesitant investor. He read the mood, built rapport over coffee, waited until the investor was celebrating a personal win, and framed the pitch as a benefit to his legacy. When doubts came, he agreed, reframed, and asked a simple question: what would make it work for you? Not only did the investor say yes, he became a lifelong supporter. Influence isn't magic, it's a series of intentional steps. Master the blueprint and you'll guide conversations, shape decisions, and create allies for life. The art of manipulation is not about control, it's about understanding human nature. It's about creating alignment between your goals and the needs of others. When you use these principles ethically, you won't just get people to say yes, you'll build relationships that last and opportunities that keep multiplying. Remember, influence grows with practice. Start small, refine your timing, and always lead with value. Soon you'll find that people naturally gravitate toward your ideas. Not because you forced them, but because they feel they're part of something bigger. If this video gave you clarity, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs these tools, and subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into books that can change your life. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep influencing the right way. Thanks for watching.